All right, so let's really dive deep into this because, trust me, you need to hear everything about what's been going on between Mike Tyson and Diddy. This isn't just some little gossip or passing comment. No, what we're talking about here is something that's allegedly so big, so wild, that it has people talking, shaking their heads, and wondering how this could all possibly be real. Yet, according to those in the know, this is very much allegedly happening. And it's all going down behind closed doors in a way that has shocked even the most seasoned Hollywood insiders. Let's start with the alleged blow-up, because that's where things really began to take off. Mike Tyson, as everyone knows, is a man with a lot of passion. He's not the type of guy to sit back and let things slide, especially when he feels disrespected. So when these rumors first started swirling, it wasn't long before Mike allegedly had something to say about it. But it wasn't just your run-of-the-mill angry rant. No, this was an explosive and heated, alleged outburst that took place behind the scenes in what some are calling one of the most intense moments of Tyson's recent life. Tyson, according to the rumors, had a conversation where he allegedly went off on a tirade, accusing Diddy of trying to get too close to him, crossing boundaries that Tyson felt were inappropriate. Allegedly, Tyson didn't mince words, making it clear that he was furious about what he saw as an attempt to manipulate or control him. And this wasn't just some mild irritation. We're talking full-on, high-intensity anger from a guy who's known for going all in when something sets him off. Now here's where things start to get really interesting. Word is, Diddy didn't just try to charm Mike Tyson with words or flattery. Oh no, allegedly Diddy went all out, pulling out all the stops to try and get Mike on his side by offering him some truly outrageous gifts. We're talking about supercars. Yes, supercars, not just your standard fancy cars, but the kind of cars that make your eyes pop out of your head because they're so rare, expensive, and over-the-top luxurious. Diddy thought that by showering Mike with these gifts, he could win him over, maybe even make Mike feel obligated to him in some way. But here's the thing. Mike Tyson, as we all know, is not the type of guy who can be bought. Allegedly, when these cars were presented to him, Tyson wasn't having any of it. According to people close to the situation, he was furious, seeing these alleged gifts as attempts to manipulate him. Mike reportedly saw right through it, feeling like Diddy was trying to get him wrapped up in some kind of secret deal or arrangement, something that made Mike feel uncomfortable and, quite frankly, insulted, like he was being set up for something he didn't want any part of. But wait, because it doesn't stop there. Apparently, Diddy wasn't content with just offering cars to get Mike Tyson's attention. It seems like Mike Tyson felt like Diddy was trying to trap him, lure him into a situation where he'd be compromised or made to feel like he owed something to Diddy. And Tyson, being the man that he is, apparently made it clear that he wasn't about to play that game. He reportedly saw right through it and wasn't afraid to let Diddy know exactly how he felt about the whole thing. Mike Tyson, in true Tyson fashion, allegedly threatened Diddy, making it clear that if Diddy didn't back off, there would be serious consequences.
And I thought Keefy D was telling the truth. You know, I felt that he had nothing to lie about. You know, he's the big player. He has nothing to lie about.
Oh, so you met Tyson before the shooting incident?
Yeah.
What about after?
I ain't seen him since. I ain't gonna lie, I seen him at the mall. He was with Jerome Williams, his bodyguard from Long Beach. And I know Jerome, I know he gonna say it loud, keep it in. And he was about 15 dudes. I think just go the other way. You know what I'm saying?
After Pac got killed, Puffy gave Zip $1 million that was supposed to be handed over, and Zip ended up keeping it. That was probably the best thing that could have ever happened to Puffy. By Zip stealing the money, now Puffy isn't connected to that shit. Or else it would have been like a murder for hire or something, you know what I'm saying?
The FBI said
so the FBI told you the
he
same
was a
thing.
dirty motherfucker.
Tupac, when he passed away, I was so curious. I said, what happened to this guy? Who was behind it? You know, the whole thing with the fight, you know, he's at your fight, he's gonna get to the fight. I think you guys were supposed to spend some time together. And then I interviewed Greg Kading. And if you know who Greg Kading is, Greg Kading, are you familiar with Greg Kading?
No.
Greg Kading, if you can pull up his Wikipedia, Greg Kading is the guy that He's the guy that was doing the investigation on Tupac
Yeah, I
and
remember.
Biggie.
I remember this.
Okay, so
they
then-
had a little television show about this.
Yes,
Yeah.
you're right. Absolutely. And he was known as the multi-law enforcement task force that investigated the murders of rap stars Tupac and Biggie. That's the Wikipedia story about him, right? So I said, so who was really behind this? So in the video, when I interview him, you know how somebody's trying to arrest him? Like if you've seen the movie American Gangster and they got these pictures. Is this the guy at the top? Is this the guy? So I have 50 different pictures with magnets, and he's putting these things up on. If you go to the video, you'll see how I set it up. Put Great Kidding by David. And I said, who is really the guy behind it? He says, well, we first thought it was this. Then we first thought it was that. And we first thought it was this. And everything's going. Then at the end, the conclusion, after multiple conversations with him and different people, it came down to Biggie. And to me, there's so many right there. If you can just zoom in, that's the way we had it. So we're kind of going back and forth to see who was behind the guys that killed Biggie, Tupac, Easy. I'm a hip hop guy. I grew up to all this stuff with NWA. This is my, like, you know, Straight Outta Compton was a movie I watched God knows how many times because I listened to all of that stuff. I'm an LA kid. So why is it that so many people in music and Hollywood fear this guy, Diddy, as if he's untouchable? And even the
Well, Sugar Diddy.
Diddy, not Diddy, not Suge.
You said Biggie, but you meant.
I'm sorry, I meant to say Diddy, not Biggie.
Well,
Diddy.
if you punch in on the picture here, you see Diddy, you see Suge Knight, and then a lot of their cohorts down there, but Tupac and Biggie at the top, as you were, Pat.
Yeah. So what is it? I mean, everybody's in there. So what is it with Diddy that so many? T.I. called him out. 50 Cent said one time on Charlamagne God's podcast, you know, Breakfast. He says one time Diddy said, "Hey, let me go buy you some clothes. Let me take you shopping." He's like, well, you want to take me shopping? What are you talking about? So T.I. called him out. 50 called him out. But some people are afraid. What do you know about? Because some people are talking about there's Diddy involvement with Jamie and something happened because he was calling him out for some of the parties he was putting up. Is there anything you have opinions on Diddy? Have you had any experiences with Diddy?
No, just I knew him for a long time.
Got it. And with you, he was chill. He was good. He was
Awesome guy.
Yeah.
I knew him before he was Diddy. And I knew him for a long time. When I first became champ, I knew him. I remember him. He used to have crates when he used to have my after parties and stuff. Also when they were throwing parties. I remember
This
him.
is when he was the CEO founder of Bad Boy. With
No, I don't
Biggie.
think he was Bad Boy yet. No, he
Really?
wasn't him. Damon Dash and all those guys. They weren't on yet. I was like the first street guy that really got on. You know, I'm talking about the guy doing crime in the streets that became a television guy, and everyone knew he was a celebrity, had fancy cars. I was the first.
This is all in Brooklyn.
I'm the first of our generation of that crew. You know, the street hustlers that really blew up like that.
And you guys all knew each other.
Yeah,
It's the same era.
Listen, this young lady that works for my company, and she started saying names to people I remember when I was 11, 12 years old.
Everybody knew that Puff took Tupac blueprint and changed Biggs and Bad Boy in image. I Get Around, talked about how fly you was, how many girls you mess with, how many cars you drive, how much money you got, what you willing to do. He took his image. Pac was the first one on the scene wearing Versace shirts. He went and got the same Versace shirts Pac had. Which, all right, some dudes would do that. You would never catch me wearing something else, something that somebody else got. He was knocking down all the women that he thought Pac was knocking down. And what I mean is having sex with them. Why would you want to have sex with women you know for sure a dude that was once cool with you was dealing with? That's that image. Because you got to realize, bruh, Puff and Pac was cool at one time. We know this. Mopreme said that they was going to sign the Bad Boy. So if he's going to sign to Bad Boy, it was because of Corey and them. I put that picture on the internet. I put the picture on my channel of Corey Jones. Is Corey Jones, Corey Jacobs? I think Corey Jacobs and Pac right next to each other. Those was the real bad boys of bad boy. You understand? Those are the ones who got the 16 to life sentence. That Pac was gonna go and be with them first. But then Mopreem said, when it became just Big and Puff, because Corey then went to jail, he changed his direction. But nobody know why Pac and Puff fell out like they did. You understand what I'm saying? Nobody know why. But Puff had an obsession with him for whatever reason it was, because he started wanting to act. He started wanting to rap. He had an obsession so bad that at his Grammy Award winning speech, he used the same speech that Pac used. That shit is crazy. So when I say I'm obsessed with talking about Puff and telling y'all the truth, who's obsessed with who? Pac had Sarah before Puff. Allegedly, he had Sally before Puff. And Kim had an obsession or liked Pac so much, she on the red carpet with Tupac shirt on. Who's obsessed with who?
So you believe Diddy, he only got with Sarah Chapman because Pac, he had her at one point.
And it was a bet in the office. Sarah was messing with an NBA basketball player. Puff bet all the niggas didn't believe that he could get it within 2 weeks. $100. So she actually was a $100 bet that he got.
And who was the NBA player?
I think it was Gary Payton, allegedly. That's what he said.
When Mike Tyson allegedly threatens you, it's not something to be taken lightly. It seems like Tyson's words were sharp, direct, and full of anger. Tyson, as we all know, is a man of action. Diddy has been telling people close to him that this whole thing is just a big misunderstanding and that there is negative propaganda out there about him, and none of these allegations are true. And there are rumors swirling that other people in the entertainment industry are starting to take sides. And according to Cat Williams and Gene Deal, there are people who are sitting on information that could make things even worse for Diddy, and they're just waiting for the right moment to spill the beans.
You just did a statement a month ago saying you never done nothing like that. Now you say different? How illuminating? When was you lying? When you said you never done nothing like that after you got shown doing it?
So, allegedly, Jaguar Wright has come out with some wild claims, and if true, they're like setting off firecrackers in the music world. She's apparently been spilling some serious tea about Diddy, and what she's saying, it's exactly what many folks have been speculating for years. You know how there's always been this cloud of mystery around him? Like people have been whispering for ages, but no one's really said anything out loud. Well, Jaguar Wright didn't just whisper, she's allegedly dropped a bombshell. Now, if you like this, please like and subscribe to our channel to be updated on our latest videos.
The first time you heard me say that Sean Combs was a and you said I was a liar because I was jealous, because I wasn't his girlfriend, because I wasn't successful in the music industry, because I didn't have a hit record, because I didn't live in a mansion, because I didn't have diamonds. You said all of these things about me because I told the truth.
Now, I'm not saying this is all fact, but if it's true, some of the behind-the-scenes stuff she's claiming will have people looking at him very differently. She's allegedly talked about secrets that Diddy's kept locked up tight. And what's crazy, a lot of these claims, they're things people have been connecting the dots on for a while, but she's allegedly adding fuel to the fire by sharing stuff from her private conversations. It's the kind of talk that gets people leaning in, you know? Like when you hear something and your gut tells you this might be the real deal, and if she's right, it could completely shift how people see him, because it's not just small things she's hinting at, it's deep, behind closed doors, life-changing allegations.
All of this abuse that people are now discovering has been happening in front of their faces for all this time. The reason why they're so outraged is because they're now realizing that they helped finance it.
Yeah.
See, the people who should be most appalled are the fans. Because not once did you ever say, this record company won't get another dollar of our money until we know why Aaliyah is gone. Can you imagine if all of Aaliyah's fans had stopped buying anything that came out of that label? That would have been powerful, wouldn't it?
Man, powerful.
And yet it didn't happen. And her death still has not been properly investigated. Now, I want everybody to think about what I just said, and I want you to go and look at that footage of the blood, ragdolling Cassie and fucking punching her like a football.
But again, these are all rumors, things she's allegedly heard from her sources. The kind of stuff that's going to make people stop and think twice about Diddy's carefully crafted image. Whether you believe her or not, you can't deny one thing. Jaguar Wright knows how to stir things up, and she's got a lot of people talking, even if no one's quite sure what to believe yet. But hey, where there's smoke, there's usually some kind of fire, right? All I'm saying is if these rumors keep gaining traction, it's going to be one wild ride. And you know what's even crazier? Jaguar allegedly isn't just throwing out one or two small details.
So, we've seen Diddy do a public apology.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
That's my thought. You just did a statement a month ago saying you never done nothing like that. Now you say different? My. How illuminating? When was you lying? When you said you never done nothing like that after you got shown doing it?
That's
You
real.
disgraced my name, my legacy, my family. You stalked, you hunted me. You harassed my friends. You put pressure on my personal relationships to the point where I had to completely disassociate myself from the whole life just so I could carry the burden of the truth. And I took that shit on the chin.
Nah, she's laying out stories that have people's jaws on the floor. Like she's talking about stuff that, if true, would flip the script on everything we thought we knew about Diddy. She's apparently bringing up moments that might have seemed innocent on the surface, but now in hindsight, might tell a whole different story. And here's the thing, these are not just surface-level accusations. They dig deep into the foundations of his career and personal life. The kind of things that could shake up not just his reputation, but maybe even some of the big names he's worked with. People are starting to connect dots between things Jaguar is allegedly saying and past events that seem sketchy, but never fully explained. And let me tell you, it's got people talking in hushed voices, thinking, wait, could this have been what was really going on all along?
Sean Carter is just as bad as the diddler. And I know that for a fact. I got the scars to prove it.
So, there's been so many people on the internet trying to figure out where you are. They're watching you. They're doing all types of stuff trying to figure you
You
out.
want to know what a box cutter feels like going into your skin and ripping you? I can tell you how it feels. Y'all ain't seen shit yet. That Cassie shit, that's nothing.
So are you trying to say like Jay-Z put hands on you?
I'm saying Sean Carter remembers everything he did to me and he's got it on tape.
It's almost like she's lifting the curtain on a stage that's been carefully controlled for years. And now suddenly, the audience is seeing what's been happening backstage, if what she's saying is true. She's allegedly pointing out situations that, when you put them together, paint a picture that's hard to ignore. You know, moments that seemed off at the time but were quickly brushed aside, she's bringing them back up, making them hard to forget. And that's what's got people hooked. That feeling that maybe, just maybe, these aren't isolated incidents. Maybe they're part of a bigger story that we're just now starting to piece together. People are on edge because if there's any truth to these claims, it's going to change how we look at Diddy, and maybe the industry as a whole. Because when someone with that much power has secrets, well, let's just say the ripple effect could be massive.
You should be ashamed of yourselves. And all of you bitches that won't speak, I hope you get charged right with them as an exception before, during, or after each crime, because every bitch that's been around Diddy seen Diddy beat a bitch.
And Jaguar's not holding back. She's allegedly talking about these private conversations like she's been sitting on them for years, just waiting for the right moment to let it all out. That's what's pulling people in. The fact that she sounds so sure of what she's saying, like she's not just throwing stuff out there for attention, but because she believes there's some real truth to it. Now, whether people choose to believe her or not, that's up to them. But one thing's for sure, this conversation isn't going away anytime soon. And as more people catch wind of it and start sharing their own thoughts, this story, it's only going to get bigger.